Do you ever feel like food is chasing you all day long? Seriously, you go to bed hungry thinking about food, and then you wake up desperate for breakfast, and then you're surrounded by all the snacks or cookies at home, or coworkers tempting you with food in the break room, or you're driving to or from work and there's a fast food restaurant everywhere and it's just all oh so tempting. That's not hunger. That's food noise. And honestly, it used to control my life. And it was a big reason behind why for 8+ years I struggled to lose stubborn weight. But with alternate day fasting, completing a 36-hour fast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday helped me break free from all the food noise. It gave me control. It redefined my relationship with food, and most importantly, it helped me lose over 60 pounds and keep it off. So today I'm sharing how alternate day fasting helped me silence that food noise and get freedom from all of the temptations and the cravings. I want to give you some real actionable steps that you can do to silence that food noise and help you stay more consistent on your alternate day fasting and health journey. Hey Fast Life fam, welcome back. And if you're new here, my name is Shelly. I'm an RN turned health and wellness coach, and I help people lose weight and get healthy with alternate day fasting. And I also share my personal transformation journey in the process. If you're interested in working one-on-one with me, or joining our Facebook group, or signing up for the email weekly newsletter, check out the links in the description box. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so I'll be honest with you. ADF is not easy, especially in the beginning, but I'm personal proof that it can be done. I started off at 242 pounds and I was able to lose over 60 pounds and keep it off and still counting. And many of you watching are also doing ADF and seeing great results. So if you're struggling, just know that you're not alone. I've gone through it. We're all going through it, but it's just a matter of staying consistent. And I want to give you some real actionable steps. And personally, a big part of it for me, and some of you have also mentioned, just the temptations, the food noise, the junk food around you. So I want to share with you not only a personal story, but give you some real tips that you can start doing right away that's going to help you stay more consistent with ADF and see those results you're looking for. I remember in the beginning when I first started ADF, oh my God, on my fast days, all I could think about was food. And of course, you're driving past restaurants, they have food in the break room, your family and your friends are offering you food. It's like it's all around you. But the longer I did alternate day fasting, and I'll share the tips that I use personally to set myself up for success, I was able to take control, and you can too. You get to decide the volume on that food noise, if you will. And alternate day fasting is actually the biggest solution for that. I know it may seem like it's so difficult to start or keep it going, but it actually is a solution in and of itself. And you'll see the longer you fast, the less cravings you have, especially when you're focusing on whole healthy food. So ADF is actually the key. And I remember starting off fasting, it was bad. I would go on to DoorDash after erasing the app because I know myself, so I wanted to silence that noise. So what did I do? I started taking extreme measures. Of course, I put the food up and whatnot, but I even deleted the DoorDash app. I deleted the Uber Eats app. Any kind of food app, gone. But on those days of desperation in the beginning, I'd go back to the app store and I'd re-download it. And then I'd even get as far as going to my favorite food spots and I'd put the food in the cart. I search for it. Ooh, what do I want to eat now? And then I get to the point where I'd actually put the food in the cart. And sometimes I'd even push order. But before I could finalize everything and put in the tip and pay, I had an aha moment, like, what am I doing? So I say all this to make the point that if you're struggling, just know you're not alone. We've been through it, and there are some real ways that we can tackle it and silence the food noise and help you feel confident in your ability to start ADF, get back on track, or stay consistent with it and see those health results and weight loss results, and just feel that freedom of control that you can take over your health. And a big part of it is realizing that food noise is not really hunger. It is your brain, your body firing off signals. It wants that dopamine or that pleasure hit from the food. So you smell the food, you see it, it's surrounding you. And It gets louder when you're not rested, you're stressed, or you're grazing constantly. So your body is on feed me mode. So your body stays in a state where your insulin levels are super high. You're storing tons of sugar in your body as fat. And that is why it's such a struggle to lose the weight. But alternate day fasting can actually help you get control of these hormones that cause the hunger, your cravings, and really rewire your body and your brain so that you are no longer even tempted by all of the noise around you. So let's get into the good stuff. So the thing that helped me the most was committing to clean fasting. And I'm not saying I was eating perfectly, every time, but for the majority of the time, I was doing clean fasting. So I wasn't doing any junk food. And you'll notice with alternate day fasting, if you can commit to those 2 and 3 days, you can gradually ramp yourself up. 3 days of clean fasting, meaning eliminate any of the processed stuff, the refined carbs, the white sugar, the white rice, the crackers, the breads. I had to do that because those things were keeping my insulin levels high, my hunger levels incredibly high. And that makes alternate day fasting that much harder, and it makes you prey to all of the food noise. And you'll be surprised, the more sugar you eat, the more junk you eat, the more your body craves, especially if it's processed with those chemicals that actually hijack our senses so that we want more and more of them. So if you can commit to the 3 days of the clean fasting where you're eliminating this junk food that keeps you craving for more, you'll see how the food noise starts to become less and less. So if you're eating a lot of protein, healthy fats, avocado, walnuts, all of these things, and you are keeping your carbs within a reasonable amount and they're not refined, even if you are doing things like fruits, even though I still watch my portions on that because too much of that also spikes my hunger. So I like to focus on the proteins and the veggies. But if you can commit to those clean fast days, I'm telling you, you will be surprised. You'll be amazed how much easier it is for your body, for you to then transition into burning that fat, which is what we're trying to do. We're trying to lower our insulin, lower our blood sugar levels so that our bodies can tap into the stored fat. And the longer we fast, we experience autophagy, or our body kind of healing and cell repair, cleaning itself up. And as all those hunger hormones and the blood sugar levels lower, you'll notice that alternate day fasting becomes a lot more easier. And if you're doing those clean fast days, focusing on the whole healthy foods, then you'll also see that a lot of that food noise, coupled with the fasting, prolonged fasting with ADF, it all takes care of itself. A lot of times you won't even be hungry once you get used to fasting and your body gets accustomed to it. Another big source of food noise is all the restaurants around. And I remember in the beginning, I would drive by all of these things. There was even a gym, and right in the little plaza, there was like a burger place and a Popeye's chicken. And just being honest, in the beginning, I literally went through that drive-through and I sat there, and as I thought about it and I looked at myself in my rearview mirror, I was like, why are you doing this to yourself? So there has been many times where, I almost gave in. It's completely normal. Old habits die hard. But you know what I did in that moment after thinking? I said, I'm not even really hungry. It's just the smell. It's just the temptation. The sight of it there is something comforting and familiar, but I don't even really want it. And that's the thing too, as you do alternate day fasting, your body starts to become more accustomed to fasting. And so you'll realize that a lot of your old cravings will over time decrease, if not go away. So a lot of the things that I found myself doing were simply out of those old habits that were keeping me overweight. So as I sat through that drive-through, I said, okay, well, I'm here now, but that doesn't mean that I actually have to order. And I actually ended up driving through and didn't get anything. So if you're like me and you struggle with having all these things around you, one of the quickest ways is to eliminate it, eliminate the temptation. And if you're listening, you're like, okay, well, how am I going to do this? You can take another route. And if you hear this and you say, wow, that's pretty extreme. For people who are really serious about losing weight, really serious about building those new habits, It's not. And if you've been at a place where you struggled for years to lose weight and you are really ready to use alternate day fasting as the amazing tool that it can be to get you those lasting results, it's not extreme. It's you committing to succeeding at this, you committing to your health. And so change your route. If it takes you not driving by that favorite fast food restaurant, whatever that temptation and that source is for you. For me, it used to be crumble cookie. I haven't touched that in a while. Oh my God, so much sugar. But there were many things actually, but I now am at a place where, okay, I can identify I'm stress eating or emotional eating. I can identify that I'm full. And so I'm okay to drive by that. But starting off, if you are really struggling with the food noise, you have to make some changes. And that may mean doing some things that to some who are not on a weight loss journey, who may not understand all the struggles that you face being overweight, all the negative impact that it has in your life, you making a change like choosing not to drive by a certain place if you know it's tempting, it's not extreme for you, it's necessary. And for me, when I was commuting from work, I would keep little things in my car like healthy snacks like nuts, some walnuts. If I packed it in the mornings, you can buy them already pre-packaged. So I kept those things in my car ready to go. I would brew my coffee in the morning and I have my thermos. And so you can do all these little things, pack your sparkling water, get yourself, in other words, like a little fasting kit. So on the days that you're eating, if you know you're going to be in a car, maybe driving by temptation, have something ready for yourself, a healthy snack, your sparkling water, whatever it takes. And then if it's a fasting day, again, I would keep my water bottle in the car. Some days I ran out and I forgot my thermos, but in my trunk, I always kept a pack of waters or at least a couple of bottles of water to get me through. So you just have to start establishing those new habits and systems, because a lot of fasting, you may feel like, oh, I can't do it. So what's wrong with me? I'm not motivated. I'm not disciplined. When you start reshifting it from being a personal identity problem, it's not you. It's not that you are lacking something. It's just that you have to establish those new habits and those new systems that are going to keep you consistent. And a big one that I'm always emphasizing is your mindset. You get to decide if you are fasting or not, and understand that food is not going anywhere. So I realized that once I reframed everything in my mind, like I am choosing not to eat today. I'm choosing to fast. This is what I want to do. So it's coming from a place of control. You're in the driver's seat. And so when you're fasting, if you try reframing it a bit, you'll see that mindset shift can make all the difference, because when you come from a place of lack or restriction, it just makes it so much more challenging. And you know that thing that, oh, I can't have that. I can't have that. It's almost like you're just forcing yourself to say, I want it. I want it. So, reframe the mind. Fasting is a choice. It's your chance to be successful. It's your chance to have a win that day. And it may be a little tough at first, but from personal experience, that feeling of success, when you see those results, and I'm not only talking about the weight on the scale, of course, that's a big one, but I'm talking about just that personal feeling of accomplishment, of control, and then you're losing inches in your clothes, your energy is improving, your mood and how you feel about yourself, because every fast is progress. Whether it's perfect or not. And I know many people, and starting off at first, will do 1 day, 2 days of fasting, and then ramp up to 3. And then there's some even now doing a little bit under the 500 calories. So there's so many different ways to gradually start ADF, to switch things up if you're struggling, to stay consistent. And of course, implementing some of these steps that we talked about can help you as well. So another big one is going to be having a feasting and a fasting plan. This is going to help eliminate that stress of what do I eat and the temptation of having all the junk around you. So I found that in the beginning, and even now, having those dedicated days, especially if sticking with it, getting started, being consistent, and especially if you're planning on getting started, the very first step that you can take right now, get your calendar out. whether it's a physical calendar, if you like to see things visual, like a planner, whatever works for you. If you like to have it on your refrigerator or on your bedroom wall, on your desk, wherever it is that you can see that fasting and feasting plan, maybe you do it on your phone, whatever organizational system that you use. I find that just having those feast days, and especially the fast days, scheduled can help you stick with it and be consistent. So just like you have an appointment, just like you have, work scheduled, you can do the same thing, because that helps you visualize your fast days, and it's just more concrete for you. It's more real when you actually pencil it in. So that's going to be a huge one. Get your plan. And then on the feast days, when you know that the food noise is an issue, plan out your meals. You can either cook the day before, meal prepping, even if it's just some leftovers, but have it in your mind, whether you're writing it down or not. Just have that image of what you're going to eat on your feast days so that you are not reverting back to those unhealthy habits. And in addition to the planning, especially if you're starting off or trying to stay consistent or getting back on track, do an assessment of what's around you. In my house, we used to have snacks, cookies, crackers, a couple of bags of chips, cheese crackers, all these things that I know were tempting for me, especially after a long day. They're easy to grab. So what did I do starting off, and I'm consistent about now? Firstly, not buying it anymore. And if it is for the kids, they have to have it in their own little area in the cabinet or in the pantry. But along with the planning, if you know that the food noise and the temptations are real for you, and you have these items in your house, and eventually I would recommend, scaling back on that stuff, if not eliminating all the refined stuff. But, we're living in the real world. So if you have some stuff there and you still have it in your house for maybe other family members, or maybe you do have an occasional treat, have it out of sight, out of mind. So you can put it in a drawer. You can put it maybe at the bottom. Make it hard to reach. In other words, if you are not comfortable with completely getting rid of it. And one big thing for me, I would tell my kids, my partner, like, don't offer me that stuff. It was that serious. I said, especially in the beginning, please do not offer me that. If you guys are having pizza, I don't want any. I'm not going to go out and buy it for you. Now, I'm not going to restrict everyone, because everyone's eating habits and patterns and needs are different. Not everyone's going to be on a fasting journey, and that's okay. But the people around me, my immediate family members, without being super, super forceful, and over time I got more comfortable in setting my own boundaries and sharing the journey, I just simply ask, okay, enjoy, but please don't offer me any. One time when they know I was struggling with fasting, they had their little pizza party in the garage. I know that might sound a bit extreme, but no, seriously, starting off, you really, before you can get control, you have to take those measures that are going to make you more consistent in your journey. And then in addition, I started putting out the things that were good for me. So have them easily accessible. Get your refrigerator stocked with those foods. I like the baby carrots and sugar snap peas and any kind of healthy foods, even some string cheese here and there. Nuts accessible to me. I put out my huge water bottle on the counter, my electrolytes on the counter, all my nutritional yeast. So all the things, the teas, the coffee, sparkling water cans. So get them ready. So essentially you're planning. You're not only planning your feast days, your fast days, so that you can see them, visualize them, that makes them more concrete so you can commit, but then you're also restructuring your environment so that you eliminate some of that, the food noise, and replace it with those healthier habits and those systems that are going to make you more consistent with alternate day fasting. So just structure your environment so that it's easy. And another area where that food temptation is real, that struggle to stay consistent is real, is when you have a social event to go to. And there have been some times where I just flat out declined. Like, I'm not going. It's a fast day for me. I'm not in a party mood. And I just want to rest and stick to my plan for myself. Just know that's always an option. But if you have to go or you really want to, then you make a plan for yourself. I would hydrate, I'd fuel up before even going, and that way you're full. So if someone's offering you something, you can say, oh my gosh, I'm full, or oh, not today. It's okay to set those boundaries. Also, if you must go and it's a fasting day, get your hydration going. I would walk around. I have my water near me, or my tea, or whatever I'm drinking. If they have something like 0 calorie, I have done things like a Coke Zero, to be honest, anything 0 calorie. But at first I would advise against that, because some people have a really hard time with those 0 calorie drinks. It can spike your hunger with the artificial sweeteners. So, but the water, sparkling water feels festive. If you have to have something at a social event, walk around with that. That way you're not feeling empty-handed, and sip on that. And again, it's okay to, even if you're not sharing your journey with everyone, it's okay to decline. It's okay to say, oh man, not today. I think I've had enough, or I'm not really hungry. And also, you can be the conversation starter. Instead of just sitting near the food or hovering around the food table, get busy, busy talking with people, catching up. And that way the focus is not so much on food. You get distracted, and you'll find that getting through the fast is a lot more easy when you stay busy. Now, if you're doing alternate day fasting and you find that a huge struggle is getting those groceries in the grocery stores when you're fasting, my biggest takeaway will be, try shopping on the days that you're not fasting. For me, it was really a struggle in the beginning, because you're already fasting and then you're heading to the grocery store. It's going to be tempting, because all the options that you could ever want are there for you. So the biggest thing, if at all possible, do your shopping, do your prepping on a feast day. So get those groceries if it's an eating day. Do your meal prep if, that's your feast day. It's going to be a huge one. And then I would personally do, not all the time, because all these delivery apps can really add up. But if you can, have your groceries delivered to you. And also, here comes that big one, planning again. I made my list. I knew exactly what items I needed, and I avoided that snack aisle. I got in, I stuck to my list, checked off my items once I got it from my meal prep, and then I got out of there. I didn't even want to go in most of the middle of the store unless I was getting things like, beans or other items that I really needed to get. But all those snack aisles, I just walk right by them. Don't even want to cruise down them because the temptation is going to be there. So if you're struggling either with that noise, the cravings, the feelings of hunger, feeling like you're not going to be able to get through your fast day, try this. When you have those feelings, let's anchor it to something else. So for instance, when I would feel a little tinge of hunger, I'd go walk outside in my backyard, or I drink some water. So try to anchor those feelings to a simple habit that you can do right away to distract you from those feelings and help you to stay more consistent. So maybe for you, it'll be drinking some sparkling water. Maybe it'll be having a coffee instead. Maybe it'll be journaling if you like that. So anything that you can do to reroute the attention from food. So try it, and you'll be surprised. The more and more you do it, it becomes a normal part of your life, so that oh, I have a little hunger, I'm gonna drink some water, and then maybe I'll go check my email, and you'll get past it. And some nights that means going to bed early. If it's 8 or 9 and I'm feeling hungry, then that might just be a signal that I need to take a sip of water and go to sleep, and then wake up, and then before you know it, it's a feast day. So try your anchor ritual this week, whether that's journaling when you have those feelings, whether it's drinking some water or getting outside, getting distracted, anything to divert your attention away from the food and to help you stay more consistent. And you'll be surprised how it quiets that noise, and it helps you stick to your plan to fast, and you'll see how much more successful you feel. And the more you do it, the more it becomes more manageable. From personal experience, the first 2 weeks of ADF were truly the hardest. So if you can get through that, and then let alone your first month, you'll see the food noise will quiet down. Your hunger levels will start to decrease as you get control of the insulin and the blood sugars. If you're feeling like, oh my God, that could never be me, I was there and now it is me, and it can be your story as well. And start small, one clean fast at a time, one meal plan at a time, one new habit that you're implementing. And over time, you will see that alternate day fasting is going to be the thing that gets you the weight loss, that gets you control of your hunger and your cravings and quiets down the noise, one fast at a time. And remember, progress over perfection. If you found today's video helpful and you got some value from it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to join the Fast Life community. And check out the links in the description box where you can work one-on-one with me, sign up for our email newsletter, or join the Facebook group. And as always, drop your comments down below. I love to hear your fasting stories and see where you are on your fasting journey. We're here to support each other. And until next time, Fast Life fam, I will see you